YouTube's been dodgy. It, like literally, it kept on glitching just for me to type in the title of this video. It was glitching and glitching. So I just copy and pasted my title and put it in that way. We think we're addicted, but it's the addiction isn't us, okay? We're not the addiction, my friends. I was waiting for some cool people to jump on the chat. It's cooling down now. I've had a good day today, actually. I was just gonna just go to bed early, but I just felt real called to do this live stream because it just seems to be a big theme lately for a lot of people in my life. Um, okay, so you are spirit, okay? Your higher self. That's what you are, your higher self, okay? The addiction is just all part of the ego. Hello, Delbs. How you doing? The addiction is just all part of the ego, okay? Addictions stem from trauma. Okay, we go through traumas. We go through traumas as a child. Okay, we go through shit that's just too much to handle. Okay, so as a child, we end up with some sort of coping mechanism. As a child, sometimes it's a lot easier to grab onto food. This is where a lot of binge eating and a lot of distorted eating patterns come from in childhood because it's a way to comfort and self-soothe. Okay, and then later on, as you get a little bit older, maybe pre-teen years and stuff, but then it maybe progresses onto something like marijuana or alcohol. Some people start like hard drugs at a really young age, 12 years old and stuff as well, even, okay? Because it's some form of self-soothing. How can I self-soothe myself? Because the trauma was so great, okay? The fear was so big and we didn't feel safe enough. Sometimes as a child, we didn't feel safe enough to go and expose to our parents, or maybe we didn't have anyone trusted and loving enough where we can feel safe enough to go and share our trauma with, to go and talk about the sexual abuse or whatever. Or maybe we went through abandonment, okay, through our parents, okay? Maybe both our parents weren't there, maybe one of our parents were there, maybe both parents were there, but they were workaholics, okay? So as a child, our emotional needs weren't met, okay? We felt abandoned as a child, so you could feel abandoned. Maybe you went through bullying at school, or you went through grief at a young age. Maybe you had lost a pet or a loved one or something like that. You see, so these traumas, okay? And that's what I mean. We go all the way back to childhood, we accumulate all these traumas, and then we go along life and we live our teenage years, we hit our 20s, our 30s, our 40s, go through marriages and go through all these things, and we have all this accumulation of all this toxic trauma energy there, okay? Is that New Zealand accent? No, I'm half Lebanese and half Islander. Seychelles Island near Mauritius is my mother, and my father's Lebanese, Tripoli. So I'm not Kiwi. I get that a lot, okay? Okay, so all these traumas and stuff that we go through, and then we get along life and we have this backpack of all these traumas, okay? But then from these traumas, we end up with these, um, uh, thank you, Delves, thank you, you're welcome. Um, Through all these traumas, we end up with addictions. This is where addictions stem from, my friends, okay? And you guys are here because you're trying to heal, okay? You're trying to ascend because it's our birthright to live a good life. It is our birthright. We don't have to suffer. You go to the system ain't gonna try and help you heal. That matrix is flawed, okay? We're here, we're spreading community, we're spreading the truth, and we're helping each other heal along the way, okay? So you come here and you resonate with my frequency, so one love to you. And if you're new here, I'm Susie, and I help people ascend. So feel free to subscribe and jump on board, okay? So we end up with all these traumas we've accumulated through our lifetime. Then we end up with these behavioral patterns, like the addictions, and addictions come in. And whatever the addiction can be, anything, okay? You can be addicted to food, okay? You can be addicted to the marijuana, to, blazing up. I used to love blazing up, guys, okay? I loved blazing up. I love that feeling of it. But in the end, I was just like blazing up, and I'm sitting here, I'm blazing, and I'm not even getting high anymore. It's just ridiculous. It was stupid. It was throwing my diet off, and I was just throwing me out of balance. I'm thinking, I'm an alchemist. I work with energy, and here I am. I was lowering my vibration. I was self-sabotaging. Why though? Why's this addiction come from? I never struggled with the marijuana addiction before, because after I lost my son, you see, and not straight away, but a while later, okay, I just end up going through my dark night of the soul. I end up like really isolated. I was in solitude for so long, and it just became this thing, okay, where at first I was like, yeah, cool, everything's in fine order, fuck it, I'm gonna blaze up, excuse my French, I'm gonna blaze up then. So I had a little blaze up, But then, okay, then the next night, oh, well, everything's in fine order. Look, it's all chill vibes here. Kitchen's clean, whatever. I'm gonna blaze up. Before you know it, you end up with this, looping in, in this addiction spiral. Okay, and because you've had some form of addiction, or maybe you're trying to come out of one. Okay, it's that habit, and it's like we can unloop ourselves out of it. The thing is, you got to recognize what your triggers are. With me, the trigger was loneliness because, okay, my son Luke, okay, was 16 years old when he suicided. Okay, so I was a young mum. I'm 40 now. I was 16 when I had my Luke. Okay, so we grew up together. He was my best friend. Hip to hip, me and Luke, my brother, my best friend. You know what I mean? So he's funny because he's coming through heaps lately, just like being a comedian. He's always cracking me up. And he's been coming through making me laugh so much lately. But it was all hard for me. So when I was sitting there and going through, my dark night of soul and riding the waves of emotion and working through the grief and traumas and stuff, yeah, there was times I'm sitting there, I feel real lonely. I didn't have family around me to nurture me and all that. Do you know what I mean? I love CMOS. Thanks. What's up? 6777. CMOS is a vibe, eh? So spirulina, look into CMOS and spirulina, my friends. Really good for you, okay? Good for your head, mind, body, and spirit. So I was feeling real lonely, and so then I latched onto the weed, and I just thought, I'm just self-sabotaging here, okay? I need to unhook myself from this, okay? I need to unhook myself from this. So, and the thing is, and whether it's marijuana, it's alcohol, it's food, have a look. And maybe it's gambling, okay? Maybe you're a sex addict, maybe you're a pornography addict, maybe you're like constant gamer, you're gaming, the gaming's in your hand all the time, you're going and all that, okay? Thanks for the compliments, that's really nice, okay? Let's focus, okay? Let's just focus, okay? I know my hair may be a little distracting, but let's just focus on that. Because when the addiction, okay, when the addiction's and you're trying to break through that addiction, okay, recognize your pattern, okay? Because maybe now you're mature enough, you're spiritually evolved enough right now, okay, to be able to work through the emotion as emotion come up. Because like I say, okay, emotions come up, okay, we're going to have to feel the sadness and the grief and the anger and the frustration, whatever is arising for you, so the energy can shift, okay? So maybe you're at that point on your journey now, you're doing really good, you're spiritually evolving and you're working your way through the emotion, cool. But then after that, what's your pattern? Maybe afterwards you've had the cry, the release, whatever. Maybe then you end up going out into the shed and blazing up. Is that a pattern for you? Okay. Maybe you have, like, you'll go comfort yourself, and then you'll go and just eat like a tub of ice cream or something like that. So have a look at what your patterns are, because recognizing your pattern, that's going to help you a lot. Recognize, okay, what am I doing here? I'm self-soothing, okay? And you just end up in that pattern. We can unloop ourselves from that. So knowing that you are higher self, your spirit, the addiction, okay, the temptation, the impulse, that's all coming from the ego. So when you recognize that, when it comes up, when that urge comes up, it's the ego trying to get you to run, trying to get you to run from the shadow. But you're brave enough now, and you're strong enough, and you're rising above now. You're choosing ascension, you're choosing to heal, you're choosing to merge with your higher self, your spirit. Yeah, so now you're gonna stay present with it. You stay present with it, okay? You recognize that this is the ego's coming forward. The ego is always trying to survive, okay? The ego will come forward, and the ego will come across real loud sometimes too, especially when it's on its way out, okay? You can't kill the ego, okay? But the ego will no longer dominate you. This is what I call ego dissolution or ego death. It will no longer dominate you because you were operating, okay, from your spirit, your higher self. That's how you get about. You're not operating from that ego. You cruise along, your higher self. That's what you are. That's your spirit. You see? So you recognize, okay, when that temptation comes forward, okay, when that urge comes forward, okay, because you're trying to shift it up now. And that's when the ego sometimes can get a lot louder, okay? So what I want you to do is to start to put things in place. Yes, you bring your awareness. You stay present. If you've been following my teachings, staying present. Okay, you stay present. Delb said your ego is not your amigo. It's interesting, isn't it? Once the more you understand the ego and you recognize the ego, you can see the ego is like a separate entity of its own. Okay, there's the ego. Like, I don't know. I'm not religious, okay, but they talk about the devil on this side and the angel on this side or whatever. You look like that. It's like your spirit, your higher self, and then you got the ego, right? So you recognize that, okay? And you want to put things into place that can help you shift out of that. Maybe you're at that point where you were just still struggling to really break through and unhook yourself from the bad habit, from the addiction, from the self-sabotage, whatever it is. So put things into place. Like maybe speak to whoever your support network is, your friend, your parent, whoever it may be, and just be like, okay, if I'm really struggling, can I pick up the phone and contact you? And do that and message them, or pick up the phone and just be like, all right, I just need to take a moment, okay? And then bang, you're just giving yourself a little bit of time now. So the ego just is backed up a bit. You're giving yourself a little bit of time. You're present. Yeah, you just shifted your mind there. Because what we want to do is we want to start to create new neural pathways in our brain. We're creating neuroplasticity in our brain. We've gone from one habit, one way that we've had for years or so long, and we're trying to shift that up. So it won't happen overnight. We've got to put in a little bit of work by being present, putting different things in place. Another good thing that you can do is I call it like the stall method. Just stall it a bit. So you got the temptation now. You want to go blaze up, or you want to go and I don't know, eat a poor diet, or get on the pornography, or I don't know what it is. Okay, stall it. Okay, all right. I've got the temptation there. The urge is there. It's pulling me. Okay. I'm going to breathe through it. I'm going to bring myself completely to present moment. I'm very present. I'm aware. I can feel the energy on my chest. Okay, yeah, it's bugging me now. I'm feeling that. You know that energy, right? It's like, yeah, it's that ego. It's pulling me. Yeah, well, I want to blaze up, but no, I don't want to blaze up. It's your higher self. Well, I don't want to blaze up. I'm fucking done with this. And your ego's yeah, I want to blaze up. So you're feeling it. You're sweating it now. You feel it. Bring all that energy inward in your chest. Bring all your energy in. You feel it. Feel yourself sweating. Be that present with it, and it will lessen. The intensity will lessen and it will shift. You stall it, okay? You breathe. Go for a walk around your house. Go outside. Go and fold the laundry. Go and I don't know, do some meal prep, or go and plan your next gym workout. Whatever. Just stall it for a moment, okay? Because then you're creating a bit of a gap there, and that gap there is a gap of awareness. You see what I'm saying? Another good tip as well that I can give you is to have like write down a whole bunch of notes, get a paper. um Delb says addictions can be like living in hell. Yes, definitely, because it's like, because you're done with it, you're so tired of it, and you're just looping around in circles, and then you feel like you're not good enough. You feel like, what's wrong with me? I feel like, how come this has it over me? But we're more powerful. You are greater than the addictions. They're not even your addiction. Don't even call them your addiction anymore. Use this Lionsgate energy, this Lionsgate portal that we're under right now. The energy is intense energy. Use this energy right now, my friends, to release all the addiction energies. Okay, I release it all. Release it to the fire spirit. Let it be transmuted. Yeah, I release that into this. Bring this light into you. Okay, this Lionsgate portal energy. Okay, it's light. It's just light, because you're an alchemist. We work with energy here. I teach you how to work with energy. You bring that light in. Okay, you bring it into your lower chakras. Okay, you're working with your chakras. You're working with addictions. Work with your sacral chakra. Okay, work with your sacral chakra. Work with your solar chakra, and work with your root chakra. Okay, really focus there. Bring that light in. Yeah, because we can unhook ourselves. All right, so working with that light, and just so yeah, get a pen and paper and write down all the reasons why. Okay, why I quit weed. Okay, why I'm not going to smoke weed anymore. For example, just weed. Okay, because me, it used to be weed. I used to love it. Okay, and I wasn't like one of those I'll wake up and smoke sort of thing. I'll be like, at the end of the day, I was like, okay, cool. Like I said, everything is in fine order. I'll smoke, but then I'm like, well, then I'm doing the next day. And then I'm like, I'm not going hard at the gym then. And then I'm like feeling sluggish and not sleeping well. Because when I'd smoke, like some people would log out, I wouldn't sleep. I'll be laying there, my mind's wired, and I'm just like, this is crazy. And then while I'm feeling tempted, I don't even eat any processed foods. If you see my foods here, it's just, I just eat clean. I eat so clean. When I was blazing up, it was so bad, because then I'd like go for a drive like this time of night, at night time, just cruise. Now I should be here just zenning out, catching up with y'all. But no, I drive down and go get dumb food like chocolate brownies and shit. I don't even eat processed sugar. And then I'll sit there because I was high, and that's what I wanted to do. Because when I was smoking, it made me so unconscious. I was doing the most dumbest shit. I tell you now, go get the chocolate brownie and that, sit back and not just have one, two, binge eat two of them, and it feel horrible. I feel sick. I'd feel so sick. And the next day I'd feel so shit for it. And I'm like, I'm looping and I'm looping and I'm looping. I need to unloop myself. So I got the pen and paper and I wrote down why I quit weed. Because I'm acting unconscious. Yeah, I'm here, I'm ascending. Yeah, why? Yeah, because it's affecting my energy now. Yeah, why? Because I'm losing sleep. My body rejuvenates when I sleep. So write a whole list down. Why you need to quit the bottle. Why you need to quit whatever it is that's got a grip on you. Because you're stronger than that. You're stronger than that. And the thing is, and when you slip, let me tell you, my friend, okay, you're doing good. You've gone a whole day, yeah, you feel fucking good for it. You've gone 2 days, you feel even better for it. And then you have a moment where you slip because sometimes you just go a little bit backwards and forwards, a little bit backwards and forwards. And sometimes that little bit backwards and forwards could go on for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and can go on for a little bit of months, okay? Depends on your circumstance. Everyone's different, okay? But when you do slip, don't be so hard on yourself. Okay, that's the biggest thing because you've already lowered your vibration because you slipped. But then we lower our vibration even more because now we're feeling guilty. We're not feeling good enough. We're like, oh, I failed again. You know, listen to that ego. It's all the ego. Pay attention. And you already know what I'm talking about. How the ego will come forward and get louder now and make you feel like I'm not good enough. Yeah, I effed up again. Yeah, I'm never going to beat this. You can beat this because remember, you're not the ego. It's the ego's just had a grip because the ego's so you're so used to having this pattern. It's like to break it, mate, just take a little bit to bust through it. So if you do slip and you go backwards, don't beat yourself up. Be kind to yourself in those moments so you can keep your vibration high. Because you want to keep your vibration high. Because yeah, we slip. Okay, you slipped. Yeah, you dropped your vibration. But why lower your vibration even more just because you slipped? You're still doing it. You're still pursuing to bust through that addiction. Yeah, you're not giving up on yourself, right? So be kind to yourself in those moments. Bring that love into yourself in those moments. Yeah, actually, put your hand on your heart and be kind to you. Yeah, actually, you know what? I did good. This is progress still. It's progress. You went 2 days. That's still progress. So honor yourself for that and love yourself for that. Tomorrow's a new day. Maybe it's the morning. You still got the rest of the day, right? So be kinder to you. Watch the self-talk, how you're talking about yourself. Okay? Pay attention to those thoughts, the thoughts that's coming forward. It's just all the ego. It's not you. Okay, you've got this and you're strong enough and you are greater than the ego because you're not the ego. You're not the addictions. You're not the traumas. Okay, yes, sometimes we go through deep traumas. We go through a lot of deep grief. And I get it, my friends. Okay, I've been through a lot of it. Okay, I get it 100%. And it's easy sometimes to just go and numb ourselves. It's easy to keep busy. And some people keep busy and numb themselves through work. Some people like overtrain. Like I love training. That's always been my medicine. I love hitting the gym. I love pumping. But you know, some people go to the extreme where they're over exercising now. They're doing all this. It's extreme because it's still a form of running. When we can be brave enough and firstly know that you are safe. You're safe to feel and to experience the energy that needs to shift within you. Because when you start to pull away the addiction now, you start to pull away the marijuana, you start to pull away the alcohol, the food, the whatever. You start to pull that away now. You're getting stronger. Yeah, you're facing that. And you're like, fuck yeah, I've got this. Okay, you feel more empowered. You feel so empowered. Okay, but what's going to happen is you may have emotions start to come up to the surface now because you've been running for a long time. It's not your fault. Okay, you had to survive. We've been in survival mode for so long. We don't need to sit in survival mode anymore. Yeah, so then emotions now may start to rise. Yeah, the grief that you didn't really allow yourself to experience maybe 10 years ago or a year ago or whenever. Then you starting to feel sad now. Allow yourself to feel that, and I promise you're safe to feel it. Okay. If you feel fearful or feeling your feels, just connect with the universe even more, the creator, God, most high, whoever God is to you. It's the love frequency, the Christ consciousness. You connect to that energy. Know you're never alone. Your ancestors back you. Your loved ones in spirit back you. You do not walk this earth walk alone. So when you're busting through, okay, addictions and stuff, remember that you're not alone. Ask for support. Ask the universe to back you. Yeah, ask the universe to back you, and you'll work through it. Shane LG says your greatest enemy throughout life will be your ego until you learn to conquer it. Exactly it. That's exactly it. You know, um, like Delp says, your ego is not your amigo. Your ego is not your amigo, because the ego is. That's where all the self-sabotage is. That's where all the addictions is. It's just the ego. It's not your higher self. Your spirit. Your spirit ain't addicted. Bros, think of it, right? Your spirit ain't addicted. We come in, we have this earthly experience. Yes, we go through life. We've been through the traumas. We've been through all that mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. We've been through all that. But we're not that. Okay? And yes, it's normal to experience sadness. It's normal to feel sad. It's like, when people feel happy and elated, right? People don't stop and be like, oh shit, I feel happy. This is something's up. People feel happy. It's a normal thing. You feel happy. It's like the weather. I always apply emotions to weather to help you guys, okay? You apply the emotions to the weather. It's raining. It's raining. It is what it is. We need the rain. It's hot. It's sunny. It is what it is. This is seasons, okay? We allow the seasons to be. It's out of our control. Let it flow in harmony. It just flows. Same as us with our emotions. Everything is impermanent, what I'm trying to say. Everything's impermanent. One minute you're feeling great, you're neutral, you're just zen vibe, you just chill, everything's G. And then that can shift. Then you start to feel real happy, you're joyful, you're bouncing off the walls. I had an X-class solar flare, got some soul activity, energy's increased. Lionsgate portal, energy's increased. Full moon coming up 2 days, energy's increased. You're feeling all over the place. But maybe you're on the other end of the scale now. And then you're just knocked around, you're tired, you're feeling emotional, you're feeling sad. Let that be. Let those emotions be. So you look at the weather externally, let that flow. Internally now, let that flow. So when you're busting through the addictions and you're starting to pull away the smoke and the marijuana, the alcohol, the porn, whatever, yeah, allow the emotions to just flow. Allow them to flow and know that you're safe. These emotions will flow and they will pass through. Because that's the reason why we end up addicted in the first place, is because we were getting something to try and cover it up, to stop that flow. So for you to ascend, for you to merge with your spirit, to embody your spirit, okay, to rise above and to live your greatest existence from a place of higher consciousness, you got to work through the shadow, okay? And we quit the addictions. We're striving to become the greatest version of ourselves, okay? We've got to drop the density, is what I'm trying to say. We have to release all the heaviness, all the stuff that we've been holding within us, within ourselves. We've been holding on to the traumas from childhood. We're holding on to all the anger. You're still angry at your ex-husband? You're still angry at your ex-missus? Do you know what I mean? You're still angry at someone from your childhood? This is the shit I'm talking about. We're going to let go of all that. Because if you're holding on to all that, you're still attached, and then you're still in the ego. How can you transcend the ego if you're still holding on to ego traits, is what I'm trying to say. You see what I mean? So apply these things in your life, okay? When it comes to self-soothing, because, that's what the addiction is. The addiction, you're self-soothing yourself with addiction. We want to replace that with some healthier habits, okay? So have a look. What can I replace that? Maybe your habit is you come home, for example, you finish work, you come home, you walk in the door. First thing you do is you go and you blaze up. Maybe that's your habit. Or maybe first thing you do, you get home, you walk in the door and bang, you go crack yourself a stiff drink or whatever. But you're tired of that. And what can I do now? I need to shift it up. I've got to change it up. What else can I do now to replace that? Because you don't want to leave an open gap there, right? Because we want to create new neuroplasticity in your brain. You want to create these new circuits now, okay, of a better, healthier habits. It's going to make you feel good naturally, because we can feel good naturally without being high, my friends, okay? So replacing that. Now come home, you walk in the door, instead of blaze up, what can I do that's a bit different then, okay? Can I don't know, go and meditate instead? Okay, yeah, at first you may feel that resistance. Oh, well, I want to blaze up because, yeah, it feels better to blaze up or have me a drink than meditate. Oh, well, I want to do that. You'll see that resistance there. Recognize the resistance or part of the ego. Just observe that, because your higher self, you're observing the thoughts, you're observing the ego. Yeah, okay, I recognize this. I'm watching this. This is the resistance now. Watch the resistance. The more you watch it and the more you stay present with it, I promise you, it will shift. Then you'll be more inclined to go and do something else now. I'm going to go and pick up the guitar. I'm going to play the guitar instead now. I'm going to stall. I'm really tempted to smoke, but I'm going to stall it now. I'm going to go do some meal prep for tomorrow. Well, I'm going to go and, I don't know, go and learn something new. I'm going to go and go on YouTube and go and find a video where I can just learn consciousness or whatever it may be. Self-soothing, things to self-soothe and bring that love into us, bringing that love within us, bring the love inwardly, because we've been running externally. When you self-soothe, find a way to bring that love inward with you. So maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe if you're a woman, go into your bathroom and go pull out your mud and stuff and go put a face mask or something. Go and file your nails, do your nails. You're a bloke, I don't know, go in your shed and tinker with your tools. go and, I don't know, go and, I don't know, service the turbo or whatever. Okay? Maybe you're going to service your own car. Just go and do something different. Change it up. Yeah, you finished servicing your car. I need to change your oil. Cool, man. Just change your oil now. Half an hour later. Cool. I'm not even thinking about having a drink right now. I feel good. Yeah, I got that done. Which I drink and I'm just smoking and sitting there lazy on the TV and just dumb shit. I'm like, well, I could be doing things. Okay? So do things going to make you feel good. Bring in the self-love and then do things that, because you're replacing all that. Okay, you're going to bring the good stuff in and then you're going to start to feel good. You'll start to see things will start to shift up and the reward system in your brain, okay, it's going to start to light up. You're going to feel good because you feel good. You go through the day without caving into your addiction, and that's such a rewarding feeling. You feel good. So when you lay down at night, you lay there, you rest your head, you're laying there, you're expressing your gratitude to the universe. Thank you, universe, for my existence today. Thank you, universe, for the love that surrounds me. Thank you for the solar activity. Thank you for the water. Thank you for the food that I ate. Thank you for the interactions I had today. Yeah. And honor yourself right then and there. And thank you, higher self, because nothing is greater than you. You are higher self. Do not let the ego pull you anymore. Watch the ego. Observe the ego. Study the ego. When you do that, you transcend the ego. You are spirit. Remember that. You're having this beautiful human experience. As hectic as it seems, okay? As hectic as it seems. Let's not compare ourselves to other people's journeys, okay? Okay? Let's not compare ourselves to other people's journeys. And as we can clearly see in the chat here, a lot of people have a lot of traumas, okay? A lot of people have a lot of unhealed traumas. That's why they act certain ways, okay? That's why they act certain ways, because they have so much of that dense ass energy within them, they ain't attending to it, they'll go project it onto you. So maybe, you know, part of your addiction is running because, you know, it's a lot to deal with the world and unconscious people, but just apply presence. You apply presence, no one can affect your energy. People can say shit to you, people can throw things at you, sticks and stones and say all nasty words, but it ain't going to affect you because you ain't that. You recognize and you see things exactly how it is. You see the ego for how it is. The more you understand your ego, you see other people acting like that, unconscious, you recognize, yeah, well, wow, they're real deep in their ego. That's what I'm trying to say, my beautiful friends, okay? So I hope this works for you, okay? So apply that, my friends. And if you're new here and you resonate with my teachings, please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. And drop me a comment below, my beautiful friends, on the video. And I'd love to hear your progress if this is something that you've been struggling with. And you can do it. Always believe in yourself. So wake up every single day and believe in yourself. Remember, you are higher self. You're not the ego. That's all for now, my friends. One love.